Yeah, no, so I've already met one of them at a Kings game, only I don't know which one I met because they both look the same. Coming to you pre-tape from the Best Coast Show studios, this is the Best Coast Show. I'm your host, Albert Aguilera. That's my producer, Curtis Stage. And Curtis, you're off in the corner again.
I am. Somehow I'm over here delegated to the back part of our studio. But Albert, there's a good reason, because we have a guest today. Actually, we have two guests today.
Dos.
Not even one guest. Normally we have one guest.
But
today,
they both look like the same guest.
so we could maybe count them as one?
Yeah.
And they're both sitting in my spot. So, Albert, we're going to have them do the rundown. So let's get started.
All right, let's do that. Ladies, give us a rundown.
The rundown.
Do it really creepy, though, like twins.
Let's read it at the same time.
We can't.
Okay.
Dodgers 35-24, second in NL West.
Alex Wood.
Buy or sell. Ryan Braun. Dodgers schedule.
War and run support.
What is it good for?
What is it good
War, what is it good? I like
Exactly.
that. Nice. That's a music reference.
I know. Yes, I've seen many war movies.
No, it has nothing to do with that. There was a band called Forget It.
I'm pretty sure. No, you know why? Because Rush Hour, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, and they were outside of the Chinese restaurant, and then Chris Tucker started singing the war song.
Yeah.
I know.
Okay,
I'm a big Jackie Chan fan.
Edwin Starr.
That's right.
I'm a big Jackie Chan fan.
Starr
Yes.
sang the song.
All right, guys, but this is another Dodger episode for Dodger Nation, and with us today are the ladies of Dodger Fan Weekly. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Would you like us to introduce ourselves the way we
Absolutely.
do so you can tell who we are?
Okay, I'm Adele,
I'm Annadelle,
and we love the Dodgers. And that's why we're here today.
And that's why you're here. Now, the viewers for Dodger Nation know you've been now doing the show Dodger Fan Weekly this is your fifth season, correct?
Fifth season.
Now,
and the Dodgers, by the way, have won the division ever since we started doing our show.
Yes.
so don't stop.
That's right.
I'm guessing that's the reason.
It has to
might
be
be.
Yes.
correlation.
The thing is, we have to do something different in order to go past the playoffs.
Right.
And
So
we're
coming
on
on
this
our
show.
show.
We're
Coming
on
on our
the
show.
show.
That's it.
Exactly.
Oh,
one.
this is like one of those crossover episodes. So, like, when you were a kid watching cartoons, and it was like, I don't know, like a Spider-Man cartoon and like an X-Men cartoon, and then they have that one special episode where they, like, Spider-Man joins an X-Men episode. That's what this is.
Nice.
Now, 5 seasons in, we're only on, what, season 2 or 3 or something?
3.
This is episode 79.
Okay.
And, you guys do it every week throughout the season, and like I told you guys before the show started, like, Curtis and I, we started this show out of spite. Why did you guys start your show?
Well, it's a labor of love. Let's start
We
there,
actually did it
right?
for that, yeah.
Because we love the Dodgers, and we felt like we could have a different voice than what are the regular talking heads about sports.
We wanted to speak to the fans because we're fans.
Right.
We also wanted to have a woman's perspective, a girl's perspective.
And we are Dodger Fan Weekly, so we don't necessarily talk stats all the time. We do talk about the team, but we also, talk about fans. We've got, Twitter followers and fan base, and you guys we met you on Twitter. And,
We did meet you on Twitter.
So it's kind of a nice outlet to be able to acknowledge that there are lots of Dodgers fans out there, and they're not just stat guys, and it's not just, a certain group of people.
Is there a certain group of fan or a certain group of bloggers that you're just like, oh, God?
No.
Now, okay, so
What do you mean,
Everybody out.
right. I mean,
They're
the
nice to
people that
everybody.
watch our show regularly know that I have certain groups of people that I just don't like, and I'm sure the girls do too, but they're just being nice.
Well, there probably are, but it's not at the top of my head. I don't focus on the negative
Right.
a whole lot.
Oh,
A
we're
whole
very
lot.
negative.
And so
Wait,
that's
what's the word?
opposites attract.
Pessimistic?
Pessimistic.
Yeah,
Yes. Well, we do focus on certain negative things, though. We'll get into
like the
that
Giants. Side note, Dodger Nation, did you know that San Francisco Giants are currently in last place, and all of their minor league affiliates are also in last place?
Oh.
Huh?
Beautiful.
Wow.
Huh?
That's
Look
a
at
big
that.
number.
That's awesome.
That's pretty bad.
That is pretty bad.
They are really struggling. It's terrible.
Now, and speaking of minor league affiliates, and you saying that you guys want to bring on the perspective of the female fans,
Yes.
Dodgers minor league affiliate, the Ogden Raptors. Where's Ogden?
That's in Utah.
Utah? What part of Utah? Like, I know where Salt Lake City is, but where?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's
No?
still, yeah. it's-
Utah is beautiful, so don't knock
I've
Utah,
never been to
'cause it's
Utah.
beautiful.
I've never been to Utah.
So are
So-
the women, apparently.
Apparently, yes, because the Ogden Raptors, Dodger Nation, if you ever heard about this, the Ogden Raptors were going to do a promotion where they had Hourglass Appreciation Night. And what that meant was that a local talent agency was going to bring on 8 women, which I assume would be in the shape of an hourglass.
No, it's 18 women.
18. And they would come in and do the color commentary, one at the top of the inning, one at the bottom of the
Oh,
inning.
okay.
Right? So that's 18. But what if they went into extra innings? Then do you just recycle the first couple of girls?
Okay.
Give
that's
us the
true.
female Dodger fan perspective of that. I think it's awesome, personally. I think that's awesome.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
This is a tough one for us, really, honestly, because when we were young,
Younger.
we played on a softball team called the
It
Hollywood
was
Cover
baseball.
Girls,
It was
Yes.
not softball.
and we toured the country, and we all knew how to play ball really well, and our opponents were television station, personnel,
fire
and we'd play
station,
yeah.
right before minor league games. And the truth is, we didn't wear normal baseball uniforms,
Yeah.
right?
They had you in skirts or what?
We had little
shorts,
shorts.
Shorts, yeah.
and
So we
Yeah,
were
yeah.
being exploited.
So
Basically.
yeah, so when you're young women, you kind of that's your asset, and that's what you use.
That's part of the problem,
Right.
really, is that women are objectified, especially in sports. I mean, look at the Sports Illustrated
Swimsuit.
swimsuit editions,
edition.
and even on the sports stations, MLB Network, all the networks, the female announcers are all in very skin tight dresses and very high heels.
And they may not even know anything about sports.
Well,
And-
and
Maybe.
I-
Very little.
Or very
some
little.
I'm not
do,
going to
though.
say we don't do that because we are
Well, that's more you, Albert, because I'm married and I don't.
right, but you're my producer, so everything I do, you co-sign.
That's
He
true.
co-signs.
You
And
co-sign it.
so this is the deal. Women are beautiful to look at. It's just that women don't get equal time to look at beautiful men in the same way.
That's not true.
Men are
That's not
it's-
true. Our
It's not
when,
equal.
when we showed
not
when we had
Not
Marika
equal.
on the show, we explained to her how our primary demographic in our Kings episodes are women, and we even had the.
But it's not because we're hot.
No,
It's
no, no.
'cause
But
they
right
like
now
the
we're trying to
Kings.
cater. We're trying to cater to
Okay,
our
got
female
it.
audience. So you should look at our analytics. The bulk of our Kings audience are women, and we also
true.
had the articles about how hot the Kings men are. And
That's
John Rosen
true.
comes on
So we try to
regularly.
balance it off.
So we try to
good.
balance
Well,
it
that's
off because
good.
it's not just fair that we get to look at pretty things.
Well, so we're
See,
talking,
equal opportunity.
But we're talking about what we're talking about is the timing. It's not really a smart time to objectify.
Is it because everyone's
women.
really PC? Because I understand they're being objectified, but at the same time, are they being objectified if they are the ones doing it themselves?
Of
It's the
course they
age-old
have a choice.
argument.
It's
Yeah.
the age-old argument. You
It
know,
is.
if I'm a hooker and I take your money, it's my money now. It's not yours.
Correct.
Got it. I understand that. Yet they are doing an American pastime, and so is an American pastime. Does it have to be bikini-clad women as well?
No, wait. Were they dressed scantily? I mean, they're
No.
they're on
The promotion was gonna happen until
Oh, it didn't
It was
happen.
gonna happen in
Oh,
August.
oh,
It was
oh.
gonna happen in August,
Yeah.
and now they're kind of like, let's take down the page. They haven't said they're not gonna do it, but they did take down the page. Now, I read the description of the promo.
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
Okay.
It was
Yes.
bad.
Right.
Do I like the promo? Absolutely. Do I like the way they described
way they
it?
described
Nah,
it?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, we're guilty of it too. Okay, so like when Amber and Alexis and Marika come on, Liz come on, they happen to be personal friends of mine who happen to be models who are attractive, but they know sports.
They really know sports.
Right.
And they really know sports. They're not just, attractive women that have nothing between the ears that are just here to look pretty. If you ever guys watch our shows with these women on, they actually engage and interact and know what they're talking about.
Well, we had Marika sitting in my spot just like you guys are, and she
and we relegated you
we're
because
trying
she
to-
knows
and I'm over here.
she
So-
knows MMA and you don't.
Yeah, so we want to give equal time to women, and I think what would make the thing work is if they actually did the play-by-play. So
They're doing
not even
they're doing the color commentary.
No, but I mean,
Right.
if they just did the play-by-play and got rid of guys altogether, then I think it would have been more
Well,
successful.
You know, and these are huge debates.
Right.
Probably
'Cause
different
there are no
subjects
female play-by-play.
because- Well, and the reality is
The girl for ESPN does color.
She's
yeah,
good,
and she
she's
got
good.
lambasted. I
She
mean,
did. People,
and
they
they get
picked on her a lot.
death
picked on
threats
her.
and things.
Yes,
It's
it was-
just
So it's a dialogue we can continue to have as we
and
go.
we can take our shirts off if you want.
Yeah.
Will that help?
We can't.
we look pretty
Normally, I would say yes, but we can't because this episode's going on Dodger Nation.
Oh, okay.
When our shows go on Dodger Nation or the Kings website, we have some
Protocol.
restrictions. Yeah, we have some protocol restrictions because their PR departments reach out to us and say, "Hey guys, some words, change them." Okay.
But here's the great thing: our show doesn't require us to have it doesn't matter if you know sports and you love sports and you guys love the Dodgers.
Listen, if I could have Cody Bellinger sitting right there without a shirt, he would co-sign on that in a heartbeat.
I'm a little bit of a fan of Cody Bellinger.
Yes.
Man crush.
And who isn't?
That's a good segue. So let's talk Dodgers. Let's
talk
change subjects.
Yes.
This is a good subject. We could probably have a whole show just on this.
On Cody Bellinger?
No. Yeah. Well, that too. I don't think
Cody
we're talking
Bellinger and
Cody
women.
today.
Well, no, because he didn't play yesterday, and he's also not on our rundown. But the Dodgers are playing .600 baseball and find themselves in second place because Arizona and Colorado are also playing .600 baseball.
Yes, they
We
are.
have the three best teams in the National League. Did you even fathom that for a second?
Not for a minute. And the pundits never make the National League West out to be a league that's going to be the best. And here we sit with these really great teams all fighting for first place.
That's true. And it's mainly because you look at the West, and traditionally we're pitching teams.
Right.
If you look at Cy Young's 99 through 2017, most of these Cy Youngs are coming out of the West, whether it's from the Dodgers or the Padres or the years that the Giants had them.
Right.
Arizona with Schilling and Johnson.
Right.
We're pitchers' paradises, and at the same time, our ballparks are massive. I think Dodger Stadium's the only one that's actually shaped traditionally like a snow cone, when all the other ones are just really huge and have like the jurors box and the massive walls in Arizona, and you're just kind of like, we're also playing on the coast, so like the air doesn't let the ball travel.
Right.
So you don't look at the National League West the way you kind of maybe look at the AL East with the prestige of home run city. But the pundits also are all on the East Coast time.
They
so
are.
a lot of times when a game starts at 7:10, they don't stay up to watch halfway
yeah.
through. So
Exactly.
that could be part of it.
Do you guys think that this run by the Rockies and the D-backs is going to continue? When do we start kind of gaining space on these two teams, or do we? Is it going to go to? I mean, do you guys feel like these two teams? Because I've watched them both. They're pretty good. Do you feel like we're going to be neck and neck with these? I mean, the Giants and Padres are out already.
Well, as soon as this series with the Nationals is over, the Dodgers hit a 50-game stretch, 36 of 50 games, teams under 500. So if the Dodgers are going to pull away, they need to do it now.
Yeah.
This is where they have
This is
that
an
chance.
important time for
Well,
them to
this
make
is
a
an
move.
important time, and obviously it's going to be about injuries. It's going to be about pitching. We have one terrific starter who hasn't done so well in either of his two starts, which is Clayton Kershaw.
And Alex.
Still leads the
Alex
league.
Wood,
Still
yeah.
leads the league in ERA, by the way.
Who, Alex Wood?
No, Alex Wood does not lead the league in ERA because he doesn't have the required innings to do so.
Right.
Clayton Kershaw leads the league with a 2.24 or something
Yes,
ERA.
he does.
Oh, he does?
Yes, he
And
does.
and I think that segues us into buy or sell Alex Wood. As great as he's been, I've kind of been like, with him, because it's great that you're shutting a team out for 5 innings, but then our bullpen has to come in for 4. He's averaging 4 2/3 innings in 10 starts.
So
But
are most of them.
Yeah, don't you
For
think that
and-
that's the new trend in baseball anyway, though?
With the Dodgers, sure, because our
No,
pitchers are always hurt.
I don't think it's just the Dodgers, but specialty pitching is the way it is. And I think the history of pitchers going, the distance and complete games and
We're done
all
with
that, because statistics
with
have
that, yeah.
changed.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
the
the
days of
game.
Nolan Ryan, where it's kind of like, hey, I'm going to pitch 14 innings and I'm
Yeah.
gonna
Strike
throw
out
100
20 guys.
Yeah, those days are gone because
Completely.
you're spending way too much money on these arms to throw them out there. And even when a pitcher has a no hitter and he's already at 120, you're just kind of like, I'd rather have you not get a no hitter because you winning one game is whatever if you're out for the rest of the season and possibly, hurt yourself further down the road in your career for one game when we could totally use you in September, August, and October and whatever.
Well, last week, Kershaw got pulled out of the game in the 7th inning. He was under 100 pitches. I think he was at 90, which was pretty high.
Right.
But he got pulled out, and Chris Taylor came in to bunt for Kershaw. Why didn't we just leave Kershaw in there to bunt?
Who's a bunting
and it comes
specialist?
down to this thing where now we're starting to pull pitchers
Watching the
out.
arms.
He didn't even get to the normally Kershaw goes 7.5, 8, or 7.
Well,
and
if they were
2/3
going to
and
pull him
8.
anyways, I wouldn't want to risk Kershaw bunting and accidentally getting his hand crushed and then running to first and
Is that the
tripping.
excuse? Is that
No,
the
yeah,
reasoning?
listen, he's a porcelain
What are the
doll.
chances of
he is
that?
a freak accidents happen.
Okay.
Side note, last night was also the longest softball game in like championship history. The girl that pitched for Oklahoma threw over 140 pitches.
That's pretty awesome.
She threw the whole game, all 17 innings.
Well, they do it underhanded.
Yeah.
But it's still, I mean, it's still got a.
I don't
Yeah.
think it's
It's
as
supposed
bad
to
on
be
your
easier
shoulder.
for your arm.
I mean, is it worse on the elbow?
I have no idea.
It looks
I don't-
bad.
Yeah,
It does.
and even then, to have 140 some odd pitches is crazy.
So back to buying or selling Alex Wood. My opinion is keep him. I mean, we have.
Well, I wouldn't trade him. I just don't think that I can put him on the upper echelon top 5 pitchers in the league. His ERA is 1.6, but he's in 10 starts, he's averaging under 5 innings, so he doesn't even qualify to be on the leader's ERA.
Well, but Maeda, he can't last more than 4 innings these days, right? I mean, twice.
But he also has an ERA over 4. Like
He
last
does.
night, what did Rue do? 7 innings
7
last night?
innings.
Gave up 4 runs, but he gave us 7 innings. And how long are we going to allow a pitcher or our staff, because our staff is always hurt, to just tax our bullpen?
Mm-hmm.
Like, the only reason we're playing so well right now is because our bullpen shuts everybody down. If we had a mediocre bullpen, we'd be fucked.
We'd be in big trouble.
Well,
That's true. Absolutely true. We have bought a lot of pitchers with pre-existing conditions.
What are we? What is that? We're the land of broken toys?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And so, right now, we are doing well. So, who are we going to replace Wood with? What would we do? I don't know who
I
that would
think
be.
our management team would continue to. I mean, we talked about this last week, where we get these players on the cheap because, like you said, they have histories of injuries, and they acquire so much depth where they're not going after a superstar. What they're trying to do is, the whole Moneyball aspect, where it's like, okay, we'll acquire 4 guys that are equivalent to that one guy, so that they can collectively make up the stats.
That's
and
right.
that's what we've been doing. And
We have that, though,
I mean,
don't
Alex
we?
Wood is currently hurt, but he's coming back this weekend.
Right.
He's on the 10-day DL with shoulder inflammation. So I'm hoping it's only shoulder inflammation and that he doesn't go down, in 3-4 weeks with, now he's got tightness in his elbow, because he has a funky delivery.
Well, our strength
he
right now is we have the deepest roster in baseball. I mean, we have players down at OKC.
Kike
that
was
could be
playing first last
starting-
night,
That's weird.
And he
weird.
did the splits.
and he did the
Twice.
splits.
He did the splits?
Twice.
At first? Twice.
I didn't get to watch the game because I was watching the women's softball game because it took over for ESPN, and they went 17 innings.
Yes. So we have the deepest, team right now. So I think we can weather the storm of
I
these
think so, too.
injuries. The big question is, I think going back to what you're saying, kind of, Albert, and what you guys are saying is that we have Kershaw. We know he's number 1, even though he hasn't pitched great in the last couple of games. I mean, he had 14
He's
strikeouts.
human.
Right.
Yeah, he had 14
that's not
strikeouts.
fair, though.
14
He's
strikeouts.
always living in his own shadow
know,
because
I know.
he's so great. When
is.
he's not godlike, you're kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't
Only
know.
14 strikeouts in 7 innings?
Yeah, it's like the dude. He leads the league in ERA and wins. He's tied with Greinke for wins, and he leads the league in strikeouts. So, okay, but he didn't throw a complete game shutout. Sorry.
So when it gets to the playoffs, I mean, we've got a long way to go. But when we get to the, August, September, the real question is, do we have a lights out number 2 that's going to shut down? Because teams, when we start going against, when we start, we're playing the Nationals right now, and they've got Strasburg, they've got Scherzer. We do not have Scherzer.
We don't.
kind of have Strasburg. I think Wood is probably better than Strasburg right now. He's just, Strasburg will probably shut down the Dodgers, knowing the Dodgers. But he, so Wood's pretty good. I mean, forget Wood, I can't really rely on Hill right now. I mean, he's the
4 biggest
innings.
question mark.
We paid him a lot of money, and we need that guy to go 7, and we need him to start every week. And I don't see that happening throughout the season.
I
so
don't
I
see it
feel like we're
happening
going to have to
either.
go out and get another arm at some point. So,
Well, how about Urias?
well,
I
we've
know
always got
Ur-
him in our back pocket. Yeah.
We always have him.
Yeah.
And he's back in the minors trying
Right.
to,
Is
muscle
Brock
up, I
Stewart
guess.
hurt?
No, I think he's back.
Okay, he's
Yeah.
back. Yeah, because our rotation moves so much where I'm kind of like, okay, is McCarthy hurt or is he playing? And then Maeda
Well,
just
this guy
came back.
named Morrow has,
Brandon
Rue just
Morrow,
came
yeah.
back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, looking down the road, I mean, it's not too far off, but we are less than 60 days away from the trade deadline. is there any pitcher that's a starting pitcher that you guys are like, hey, you know what? Maybe we can make a deal for it, because last year and the year before, he was all Curtis was saying, we need Sonny Gray. We need Sonny Gray.
Yeah.
Bring Sonny Gray. And the last year and a half, Sonny Gray's been hot garbage. But maybe because he's been hot garbage, and there's that potential that we saw a couple years ago in 2015, where he was a legit contender for a Cy Young in the American League. Our pitching staff and our ballpark could probably help him.
Yeah. I still love Sonny Gray. I mean,
Chris
he plays
Archer?
on a terrible team, but I still love him. I think he's good.
Chris
but
Archer won us a World Baseball
Chris
Classic.
Archer, I don't see them coming. I think the Marlins are going to be sellers, obviously. There's rumors that
Giancarlo
Stanton might
Stanton
be
to
gone. He's not a pitcher, but if we could get him to pitch, that'd be good.
When he gets traded to the Dodgers, I will tell him you need to change your name back to Mike.
Okay, so girls, do you see any pitchers out there that you think the Dodgers might maybe trade some foreign people to? Or maybe we've got a glut of outfielders still, even with Tolles
do.
hurt. We still, I mean, there's talk of maybe what if we trade Peterson? I mean, is he a trade chip? And that would be maybe back to Northern California would be good. To
Send him to Milwaukee and bring in Braun.
We'll get to Ryan
We'll
Braun.
get
All right, we'll get to Ryan Braun in a minute.
And as I said at the top of the show, I don't know who that pitcher would be.
Okay.
There's not a huge market. You know, people are kind of where they want to be.
Yeah. There really is nobody that
There's
stands
not.
out there.
That's been the
Right.
problem for a couple of years. There hasn't been a pitcher to
Right.
snap up. So
We wouldn't have to worry about it had we kept Granky, but there we go.
True. Well, we're in agreement there on that one.
well, he chose to leave.
I know, but
Yeah.
disgruntled
And then he
fan.
cut his hair.
He did cut his hair.
Yes, he
Well, that's why he had a bad season last year.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
So Albert, you want to talk about Ryan Braun with the girls?
I do, but one of the pitchers that I think we might acquire in a far-off pipe dream would probably be Harvey from the Mets. The Mets have a lot of starting pitching, and they're not going to keep all four of them.
Yeah, and they're a mess.
And they're a mess.
And and the
But
Mets
is
don't
Harvey
want him
ever-
anymore.
Is Harvey ever going to be good again? I mean, I feel like that guy is glass. Like he breaks
again,
down constantly.
That's why we get him on the
get the
cheap like
Ricky
everybody
people.
else.
He fits our team perfectly
Okay,
then.
that's
Yes.
true.
Right?
He would be another misfit toy.
So Friedman's got his eyeballs on Harvey.
On
right
Harvey.
now.
Yeah.
He's got the zone. He's zoned in on him.
And I'm sure the Mets are ready to let him go.
yeah,
at
the
this
fans
point.
there are done.
I mean,
with
and
Harvey.
knowing the way that our front office does deals, it would be the Mets, the Marlins, the Brewers, the Mariners, and like the Ham Fighters of Japan doing a multi-team deal. But yeah, going into Ryan Braun, I'm in favor of bringing Ryan Braun back home. He's a local San Fernando Valley, Granada Hills
Granada
product.
Hills.
You ladies are very vocal on the Twitter about not having
Braun.
him here, and why is that?
Well, it's not only because he cheated.
Is it because you really like Matt Kemp? Are you guys still caught up on Matt Kemp?
Well, let's talk about
Let's talk
that
about
for a bit.
that. Yeah, let's do.
You know, Ryan Braun got busted, and then he threw somebody under the bus.
That's the biggest thing. You know, yes, steroids are still in the game. And a lot of players that are playing now, it's fair for fans to go, oh, I wonder, let's test him, right? Because there's been a history of steroid use. The thing about Ryan Braun is what happened after he got busted, right? He went on this whole media parade to say, I didn't do it, and he started accusing some young man who was doing his job.
Yeah.
And that caused problems in that young man's life. And then he also called the anti-Semitism card, saying, that it could be because of that. Mm-hmm. And then quietly, months later, in some abandoned warehouse, he quietly says, yeah, I'm sorry if I hurt somebody's feelings
On
by doing
Thanksgiving.
that.
Yeah.
On Thanksgiving
I think
Day.
his mom told him to fess up. It had to be what it was.
It had to be.
So, the bottom line is, it does kind of matter what kind of human we have on our team. Our team right now is actually playing like a team.
Really well.
They're cohesive. It feels like they like each other. It feels like they like their fans.
Right.
Bad elements really shape teams sometimes.
They
And I
do.
just think he's a bad element.
So it's not so much the steroid use, but what happened afterwards. Because I make fun of Grandal all the time on this show.
Yeah.
Anytime Grandal hits a home run, I claim he's back on the juice. And,
Hey, and that's fair. He was
I
caught.
think something like that, regardless of what you do in your career, is always going to stay with you.
Sure.
Grandal could go on to be the greatest catcher of all time and have more World Series wins than Yogi Berra, but I think that's always going to be there. Like, he got caught. Eric Gagne got caught. Paulo Duca got caught.
Right.
What was it? Rafael Palmeiro?
Yeah.
I did not take steroids, period.
Right.
But
Right.
it's not so much that, D. Gordon got caught. And it's not so much that these people use steroids, which is wrong, but the fact that Ryan Braun just handled it differently.
Well,
Well,
yes.
Monumentally differently.
Right.
I mean, monumentally differently.
Now, how do you feel if he gets traded here and then he just starts raking?
Well, that's the
Do
dilemma.
you forgive and forget? This happened,
No.
10 years ago? 2007? 2008? When did this happen?
Well, and remember, you brought up Matt Kemp.
Yeah.
That whole firestorm started because
Matt Kemp is dead to me. When Matt Kemp, when he got traded, whatever. Things happen professionally, things happen. But when Matt Kemp got traded to Atlanta and he said, finally, I get to play in a baseball city, that's the day Matt Kemp died.
Well,
Okay.
okay.
Matt Kemp
so there you
is
go.
dead
You're
to me.
talking about character then. You're
Right.
talking about character.
No, not character. What he
and-
said, no, that wasn't character because everyone's got an opinion. But what he did is he specifically attacked Los Angeles, myself, you ladies, the awesome people of San Diego. He's like, listen, Atlanta. Now this is a baseball city. These are baseball fans.
Yeah, I think he was
got
just
it.
playing to the crowd.
I
Come
got it.
on.
Terrible.
I got it.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I got it. It's still character. He was not a great element in Los Angeles. There was a whole lot of it's about Matt Kemp stuff.
Oh, it's
going on.
dating
You know,
things.
right.
And, yeah. It's a
you
lot of
can
distraction.
feel it. You can feel
there's
it.
a difference on the team, and
And
to bring-
Ryan Braun is, he's rickety bait now. People with steroids break down. He's
Right.
already been on the DL. Are we going to get another broken?
He's on the DL
person?
right now.
he
He
is.
is.
He's not playing.
That's why we can
So-
get him on the cheap.
So can we go for Giancarlo Stanton, please? Can we stop this? He's also a local kid.
Yeah, but here's the difference. Carlos Stanton is still like on a 9-year deal that hasn't even kicked in. I believe it kicks in this year or next year, right? Yeah. So he gets a 13-year deal, record-breaking $300 and whatever $million. But when was the last time he played a full season? Hint: never.
Yeah,
Right.
but the level
And I know it's
of
not his fault.
play-
I know it's not his fault
Right.
because a pitcher throwing the ball and hitting you in the
his
face,
face, right.
not your fault. You're not Matt Kemp that ran over second base and fell, or have no idea and no awareness in the outfield that you constantly run into walls and your teammates.
Yeah.
I get it. A little different for Giancarlo Stanton.
Yes.
But the amount of money that he's also really young, but the amount of money that he's owed versus the amount of money Ryan Braun is owed versus
Yasiel
the
Puig.
years. Yeah, and Puig versus the years left on their contract, that's a little bit different. Like with
Right,
Bryce
but
Harper, everyone's saying
also the
$400
years
million
left on
bucks.
playing though. Giancarlo Stanton can play a lot longer than Braun.
That's true.
That's what I. That's
a
my.
lot-
Yeah, and he
longevity.
can hit the ball out of the park,
And he
which he
can.
has
And
at
test
Dodger
him.
Stadium. I think that's the. But I don't know that this team is going to make that kind of commitment right now. To like we
because
said,
they're loading up for next season's off season.
Yeah,
But don't we have a farm? We have.
We
Yeah.
do have a
Got a
farm.
good farm.
We do,
We've
but
been waiting for
who
this.
in our farm can you say legitimately has not even can perform like, but has the potential of becoming Giancarlo
Bellinger.
Stanton or
Yes,
wait,
Cody Bellinger.
or freaking Machado or Bryce Harper? Like, you already know these guys are superstars and they're in their mid-20s.
Well, that's because they came directly into the league.
Yeah.
They didn't even play in the farm. Just
No,
like
that's what I'm
Bellinger.
saying. But who in our farm system do we have that? Cody, right? But he's already playing Seager, and
He
he's already
is.
playing.
That's
but
right.
even then, these guys don't hold a candle to the greatness that is Machado and Harper and Stanton at the moment. And these guys have been doing it for years now because
Do
they're
you
so
think
young.
we're going to be in on one of those guys in the free? Well, not
In
Stanton,
the
but Machado, 'cause
2018
he's-
free agency bonanza, I think the Dodgers will be in on everybody until they get at least one. Yeah, so in that free agency, we could go after Machado, no problem, because he's really young.
Yeah, but we got Justin Turner.
We have him for 3 years. At the end of next season, he'll be 1 year left on his contract, and he'll also be in his 30s.
And we could move him to second base.
And he can move to second base, because what did we get Logan for 2 years?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
And what's the
He's already been on the DL.
and what's the name of the game in Los Angeles? Versatility, right?
Depth.
Depth is
Depth.
the word. Depth
Depth
is the word.
is the word.
But, okay, so here is Dodger Fan Weekly's feeling about this. We love players. We love certain players when they get on teams. We miss the 4 regular infielders that we grew up with.
Yes.
Right? Teams keep shuffling, and this win at all costs, let's get anybody to win at all costs. is a modern idea. I get it. But it's really nice to be able to watch a team and know who's going to be on
For
that
10 years.
field.
On
That's
the field.
why we
For-
should
and
who's
sign
coming
Ryan
up
Braun.
next?
Because if we brought in Ryan Braun, we would know
No.
for a fact that every night he would be in left field. We would know for a
No,
fact
we
that every
wouldn't.
night he would be the same number in the lineup as opposed to what
But
we're
that's
doing now.
Tolles when he comes back. That's-
He's out for the
Maybe.
year.
I know
Tolles
that,
is
but
gone for the
2008
year.
2008.
What did
I'm
we
not
do last
totally
night?
sold
Last
on
night
Tolles.
it was Gutierrez in left. It was Kike at first.
Ew.
Logan
I
at
know.
second. Corey Seager was at shortstop. Who was playing third?
Forsythe.
Oh, Forsythe was at third because
Taylor was at
Taylor
second.
was
Taylor
at.
was
You
at
see, I don't even know because everyone.
Moving
We talked
around.
about it last week on the show. We literally do not have an active third baseman listed on our 25-man roster.
I know.
We don't.
It's crazy.
because
Because it was Turner.
all these guys that are our utility guys are all listed as outfielders. So we have like
Or
9.
utility. They
Yeah,
say
we
utility up
have
on
9
the-
outfielders on the
They
team
do.
because they happen to play second, third, and first. So to your
at Dodger
point, it would be
Stadium.
very nice to have Ryan Braun here because it would solidify every position.
Yeah,
Well,
but he doesn't
I think-
play
I
with-
think
you
they're
girls are
agreeing with
talking
me.
about growing up with a set of players. So
Right.
we're gonna see, and I
With
agree with
Garvey
you
and
too.
Say, and I understand the 80s infield that was together for I think 11 total years, which was the longest active
We
infield
were-
ever.
And guess what? We were a great team then.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that yes, baseball is different now, but we're seeing this with the Cubs because so Bryant and Rizzo are going to be playing together for 10, 12 more years.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
They're going to until they can't do it anymore, that's a team that's going to grow up with Baez. I mean, they have a set,
Exactly.
deal.
core.
Well, and you
And-
need the cohesion.
And I
So
think we're going to
think
get that set,
Yes.
core with Bellinger, Seager, maybe some of these other young guys are going to come in too. We'll see Peterson. We'll see how that
We'll see.
goes.
Well, assuming everybody was healthy, how many people do we have of the 8 starting position players do we have that are legitimately that is your position and your only position?
Corey Seager.
Seager, Grandal,
Puig.
Grindal.
Puig at right.
Is that his? I mean,
He's been there all year.
He has, but
Well, Turner is
Turner at third.
Ostensibly Peterson, if we keep it.
Turner at third. Jock at center. That's it. We got 5.
Okay, so
well, 5 out
So-
of 8's
so
not bad.
5 out
Right.
of 8 is not bad.
So what you're saying is that you're going to constantly rotate 3 guys every night.
Well, that's just what they do.
And they're rotating and they're platooning. And even when Peterson comes back, now you've got Chris Taylor.
Who's hitting 345?
That's right.
Came out of the
Yes.
lineup.
Right.
I mean,
So you can platoon all you want when you get Peterson coming back in center field and put Chris Taylor. They hit from opposite sides of the plate and they make up a great center fielder.
girls,
and
do
that's
you like the platooning?
hate it.
Hate
Okay,
it.
so when you go to the park, you do want to see that set lineup, that set. Okay, yeah.
We could have a set left
about
fielder.
you?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
What happens to Cody Bellinger if we get Braun? What happens to Chris Taylor if we get Braun?
Oh no, Cody's going to play first.
not
Gonzo's
this
on his
year?
last
Not
leg.
this year.
I don't think that Gonzalez is going to be here next year. And if he goes, and right now he's doing okay. He had his slump, and it's because he went on the DL for the first time ever. Honestly, I feel that he was rushed back, but I think it's Dodger management taking advantage of the fact that the DL is now a 10-day DL.
That's right.
And they're kind of like,
Yep.
oh, okay, let's move bodies around as much as we possibly can and use this as an excuse to give people rest and whatnot.
Yeah, Agon is not done yet. That guy will still. I know he only has 1 home run right now, maybe 2, whatever he's got. But he's going to go on a tear. We
I
all know
agree.
that. So Agon will end up with 24, 25 home runs. He'll still have 70,
Is
80.
that your bold statement?
think
Today
he's
is
go-
June
of course.
6th.
Yes.
Today is June
He's
6th.
going to
we're-
go on a
It's
tear.
only June 6th.
only
for some
June 6th.
people.
We're
It's
good.
already June
We're
6th
good.
for some people.
Yeah,
He's
we're
on
good.
pace for like 3 home runs this year.
No, yeah, exactly.
So
That's
what
gonna
you're
happen.
saying is that he's going to hit 20 plus.
Yes.
The thing about saying when somebody's on pace to do something is that it never ends up being the 87 home runs
Yeah,
that
look at
somebody
Peterson 2 years ago. He had 20 home runs at the All-Star break and then hit 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he was on pace to hit 45, and we were all like, oh!
Yes, that's right.
And now
his
Peterson, I don't
strikeouts
think
are as much as his
Yeah.
hits. But
Right.
anyway,
I don't think he's going to come close to 20.
But aren't we talking about this season? We're supposed to win it all this season.
We are
It was
gonna win it all this
win
season.
It all
Yes.
or bust,
We're all
right?
gonna, yeah, that's my philosophy every year.
Well,
the key is going to be, I think, this. Since we have this depth, we can play through these injuries. These guys have put together a team that they know gets injured. They know these guys are not going to be solid for 162 games.
Right.
But he can do it, and we have a team that can do that. And then when it comes down to September and October, I think we will have a solid. This is who's our set people.
I don't think
and
so.
and it'll just be the bullpen.
That's not going to happen
You don't
because
think so?
because it didn't happen the last 3 years.
And look what happened.
But this is why I think this year is
That's
going to be
right.
the different year. They're going to solidify
we
it.
have it. This team is so exciting right now because of Chris Taylor, Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager.
Yeah.
It's just, and what's his name? He was in left field last night.
Gutierrez?
No, right field. Scheibler.
Puig?
No, he's
Eibner.
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 Yes,
Brett
yes.
Eibner.
Sorry,
Yeah.
I mean. He's
Yeah.
so cute. I can't think of his name.
You see,
See?
objectifying
Wait a
works for women
Wait a
too.
minute.
Well-
do you need the guys to be in shorts? on the
No,
field?
he's just fine in
They're
uniform.
fine the way
We love
they
him in
Do you
are.
need
uniform.
like Marlins tops with the cutout so you can really see
No,
the
no,
muscles?
no.
Anyway.
Anyway,
That,
Those are
that
ugly.
song, I Love a Man in Uniform, was not about the military.
Yeah.
It was about baseball.
All right.
anyway, it's a very exciting team to watch, and it's nice to see a lot of fundamentals happening, a lot fewer mistakes on the bases,
Yeah.
getting people on base, and then bringing them home.
I saw that yesterday with
which is-
Yasiel Puig. It really surprised me when he got into that semi-pickle going into second base
Yep.
and he stopped. And I was like, oh my God, look at you. You're maturing.
Absolutely.
You're maturing. And he made it safely to second base.
And
Yeah, but-
Puig is a terrific example of maturing. You know, he's not the wild horse, and everyone's kind of
I think
upset.
he was forced to mature because they said, listen, get your shit together or you're not coming out of the minors
Yeah,
because
but
they
he's-
sent him down.
Hey, he
He's
took it
getting a lot
on.
of walks. He's getting a lot of on-base hits.
Well, he better be getting walks. He's hitting 200.
That's right.
Like, he's not hitting anything. You know who is, though? Chase Utley.
He's
Chase
back.
Love
The
the
silver
The
fox.
man.
Silver
Which, by the
fox.
way, Jerry Harrison Jr. has been referring to Chase Utley as the silver fox
Can
and
you put
giving us
autograph of the silver fox
and
up?
I could do that and giving us absolutely zero credit for it.
Yes.
Zero
Did you
credit.
start that?
Yeah,
We
we
did
started
start
that
that.
like 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Right when
Yeah,
we got
Joe.
him, we
Right,
started
right
it.
when we brought him on, we started calling him the Silver Fox, and Jerry Harrison Jr. stole it from us and is not giving us any credit.
Now,
Because
is
we heard
Dodgers
Joe
beat
Dayer
making
say it.
Oh yeah, we
t-shirts?
saw Dodger Beat making Silver Fox t-shirts too.
No.
At some point, we'll make our own
Oh,
t-shirts,
no.
and they'll be awesome. We just have to stop being so lazy.
We should ask Joe if he could mention the silver fox on air. Can you tweet Joe?
I'll tweet
Joe
Joe,
has
and I'll tell
mentioned
him. I'll tell him to call out Jerry Harrison.
I don't think that's gonna happen.
I think Joe.
imagine?
I think Joe could take Jerry Harrison because Joe was an athlete once, just like Jerry Harrison. Only
Gonna
he's
call him
signi-
out on a broadcast.
I would.
He might do it on Twitter.
I would. I'd
Give
be like,
the guys
listen,
at Best Coast some
listen,
credit,
guy.
but do it on
in a
Twitter.
message.
listen in a private message.
Direct message. It'll be a direct message. While Joe is grilling, Joe will be flipping patties. Okay, Jerry, come on.
Oh, you know what we
Yeah,
can get
that's
him?
when you can do
We
it.
can get him one of those iron things that brands the beef patties, so the beef patty can have the Silver Fox logo on it.
Okay, good. Because we did make a logo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
well,
Oh, yeah.
I
yeah.
wanna
well,
see it.
Eventually, when we stop being lazy and we actually find the time to do stuff, and Curtis isn't going off on family vacations without me,
Oh, gosh.
Without
we'll
you.
we'll print some shirts.
Now, Albert, you want to talk about the Dodgers schedule? What do we need to talk about?
Oh, we did the 50 games thing. We already talked about that.
Oh,
we
yeah.
got to talk about WAR
Oh.
because
War. What is
wins
it good
above
for?
replacement, right?
That's
You
right.
know, stats on stats on stats. And the highest wins above replacement at the moment is Mike Trout, 3.5. Everyone else just kind of like, it's like the edge of a cliff. Like, Mike Trout is the pinnacle of, like, baseballness. And then everybody else, right? But this is for position players because Kershaw's up there as well. And so is Zach Greinke. But it drops all the way down to God knows who. And eventually, in the top 30, we have one player.
Chris Taylor?
Justin Turner.
Oh.
2.2. After that, it drops all the way to like 99, and it's Chris Taylor at 1.7.
Okay.
But after that, we have hot garbage, and the two lowest position player Dodgers that are on this list, who happen to be ranked like 495 and like 512, which are literally in the bottom 1% of major league players, are who?
Aegon?
Aegon at minus 0.4, and
Forsyth?
no,
Who?
another one, outfielder,
Yasiel Puig?
Jock
Jock.
Peterson.
Oh, Jock.
Oh, Peterson. yeah.
Minus 0.5.
Ooh, that's tough.
And these guys can't be everyday guys when they are literally costing the team a total win.
Well, I think we're going to see a little bit of a platoon with Chris Taylor. I mean, again, when Jock comes back, I don't see how you pull Chris Taylor out of the
I don't
lineup.
either.
He's on base all the time, and he's proven to be a good center fielder.
Matchups. That's the problem
But
with
no,
our
but
management team.
The matchups are a
Let's
big
see.
deal, but even Dave Roberts said with Chris Taylor, he's not going to
Yeah,
talk about that
I don't
because he
believe in
hits-
matchups. You ride the hot hand. And that's what keeps screwing with us in the playoffs. And we talked about this
Exactly.
before, where in the
Exactly.
playoffs, you have to win 3 out of 5, 4 out of 7.
Right.
And your guys can't get hot if you keep platooning them.
Moving them
and in the
around.
series against the Nationals, we were like about to shit the bed, and Clayton Kershaw put himself in the game because he's like, listen,
awesome.
I'm the best player in the world. Let me do this. Well, statistically, I don't give up about statistics. We're on Dodger Nation, so I got to not curse as much. But
Thank you.
he goes in there. He goes in there and says, Doc, give me the ball. And he's like, oh, don't worry, we got this. And then Doc turns around, and then someone's like, hey, Kershaw's walking to the bullpen. And he's like, oh crap. Okay.
That was one of the greatest
He's going
moments
to put
in
himself in the
was.
game.
Dodger history.
And that's what you need. You need to solidify your everyday lineup, your everyday fielding positions, and you need to be able to say, okay, these are the best players every day. Not, oh, he's left-handed and we have a right-handed pitcher, and statistically we're in the National League West playing outdoors on grass on a Tuesday in May.
When it's
Spray
72
charts.
degrees.
Yeah, and it's
spray charts.
Yeah.
I get that
whatever.
statistics work to a certain extent, but you have to let baseball players be baseball players, and I don't want to let Jock play for the sake of letting him play, because statistically, no, Chris
He's
Taylor's
terrible.
hitting 3 and change, and he needs to be playing every
And
day.
until he's cold as ice,
Yes.
he plays.
You write the hot hand.
Right.
Yes.
You do.
Here's what I love about Bellinger. He's been struggling a little bit, and my love for Bellinger, of course, grows.
It's
every day.
undying.
Yes.
But he has bunted twice for singles when they put the shift on him and
Yes.
laid down perfect
Because he
bunts.
adjusts, and
'Cause
that's
he
what you
adjusts
need.
and
That's what
keeps
you need out of a
Exactly.
player.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He's wise beyond his years.
He is. The poise that Corey Seager had when he came up last year is also what Cody Bellinger has.
I think
You know,
Chase Utley's getting in their ears. Something's
must
happening
be.
there. Yeah.
Must be.
You know who's not
because-
listening?
Who?
Jock.
Okay. Well, but I think
No,
you
he's
will.
not.
True.
I think you will.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't
I
know
think
either.
the Silver Fox needs to roll up the newspaper.
He still swings worse than a little leaguer half the time. Like
does.
his helmet's flying off, his head's. I mean, the whole thing of like his, you tell little leaguers keep that head in there, keep that head in there. Jock is like swinging his head. It's like on a swivel.
Even when he walks up to the plate, he kind of drags his feet. I'm up. You know.
He's still so powerful, though.
I know.
I'm really rooting for him
well,
to be there.
if he connects.
Yeah.
If he connects, it's
Yeah.
Because he
trouble.
can. It is. Yeah.
But speaking of little leaguers, we have our gift of the day.
What is our gift of the day?
Our gift of the day, ladies and gentlemen, is little leaguers mowing each other down. I don't know if you saw this, but these kids are like, I don't know, Pinto age, so they're like 6 or 7. Ball gets hit to the second baseman. Kid on third base runs home. Second baseman throws it to the catcher. The catcher's waiting for him, and this kid just mows down the catcher. But you know what? He held on to the ball.
Nice.
It was like that
They
scene.
don't have the Posey rule.
They don't have the posing rule. It's like that scene in the All-Star game where Pete Rose just destroys the catcher. Only this kid actually held on to the ball.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Wow.
what? Because growing up,
Wow.
when I was a kid, you
Yeah.
couldn't take out the catcher. And I don't think you can take out the catcher anyways.
Well, you
Do
have
they
to
score
slide.
in
He
Little
did
League?
it.
They don't even score in Little
You're
League.
supposed to slide.
Yeah, this kid didn't slide. This kid went full-on, like, linebacker into this little kid. It was like Friday Night Tykes. Like, it was pretty intense. But the little kid held on to the ball, and they called him out.
Nice.
Yeah, that was good. All right, guys, but that's been our show. Don't forget to stalk us on Twitter at Besco Show. Don't forget to stalk the ladies of Dodger Fan Weekly at Dodger Fan Weekly with no S. I've made that
right,
mistake
yes.
several times before when trying to hit you guys up on the Twitter. I always add the S, and then it gets sent to nobody. And I'm like, hey, did they like block me or something?
We are somebody. We are Dodger Fan
Dodger
Weekly.
Fan
Yes,
Weekly.
What are your guys' individual Twitter handles? That way people can stalk you personally.
Anna Schmana. At Anna Schmana.
At Anna Schmana.
ANASCHMANA.
And I'm at Adele BW. Adele like the singer, ADELE.
Ooh,
BW.
fancy.
Nice.
Guys, but you can catch their episodes on YouTube, on Dodgers Nation. You can catch them. Are you guys on podcast as well?
We are not.
You should be on podcast.
We
just,
should be.
I'll show you how to
Okay.
strip the audio and just upload to the
Okay.
RSS feed. Because we are also on the podcast, iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. Notice how he didn't say Twitch?
Nice. First
And
time
really
ever.
anywhere podcasts are heard. Guys, don't forget to stalk Dodger Nation on the Twitter as well, at Dodgers Nation. But Dodgers Nation, that's been our show. And you guys have a good night.